Hey guys, it's Verbal, and today we have FNG episode 34, and we kind of got a special version of FNG this week while we're calling everyone, which is kind of weird. Let me hang up on a few people here so that I don't keep calling them. But our special guest this week is actually the silent FNG, Tyler or Tnose. Tnose, what's up, buddy?
Not much. It's good to be here. Finally talking on the podcast.
Kind of weird, right?
Yeah, tripping.
I've been on the podcast for like 33 episodes, and this is your first one talking.
Yep.
Tyler has literally been there with us from the very, very beginning. So what we realized, guys, I think it was our first or second episode that when either it was TryHard. You hosted it, and your voice went weird because you were talking and you were streaming at the same time. We were like, wow, what we should do is get a buddy of ours to host this. I wonder if we could get someone that would be interested. And Tyler was like, sure, I'll help you guys out. Why not? And then I don't think you knew what you were getting yourself in for when you said that.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't expect it to go this far. No offense, but 33 episodes is quite a while.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's kind of like an unsung hero because you do a lot of stuff that nobody sees and nobody knows of, and we'll get into that later. But we actually did one episode without UT. It was, I don't want to lie, but it was probably like 3 or 4 episodes back. You couldn't make it for some reason, and we got somebody else to do it, and that person did a wonderful job. But we actually found out exactly what it felt like and what it was to not have you around anymore, and not have you do that one episode where you did everything and stuff like that. And definitely did not want to do that again. And
yep, you are very much appreciated, I think, is what TryHard's saying.
I am.
Yeah.
I enjoy helping you guys put out a great product.
Yeah, all right. Maybe we should clear out that Larry's going to join us sooner or later. He's got a little job thing to do real quick. He'll be on in like probably a few minutes, so he'll jump in. But he's usually the one who comes up with the weird ass questions for the guests. But I decided to take his place just for now because he's not here. So T, this is my question to you. You haven't heard this before. So would you rather be eaten by a pack of angry lions, or B, a colony of raging ants? Go.
I'd have to go with the lions because they take bigger bites. Though,
but
why do I get eaten? Last week we've got banging chicks in the shower, and I'm gonna get eaten by fucking ants. Thanks.
I know. I'm sorry. I did not have enough time to think about a banging chick question.
We were discussing it beforehand. We were both like, shit, that's lame, but it's the best lame version thing we could come up with. So we kind of felt bad about it, but at the same time,
I would definitely take the lions because I think it'd be quicker.
So you think you're dead quicker with lions?
Yeah.
But like they're taking like chunks off, and like I think it's more painful with the lions, man. Like they're like you're bleeding to death with lions. Let's keep it clear.
Yeah, and with ants, I'm gonna swell up like a balloon and get nibbled on for weeks. So
yeah, but it kind of
either way, you're getting eaten and you're dead. So
get it over and done with, basically.
What about you, Verbal?
See, lions? I don't know. My initial when you typed it in the chat, my initial thought was like, "Fuck no, dude, lions! Like no way." But I saw a picture once of like a dead arm or like a torso that had come out of a shark's stomach, and I was like, "That's disgusting. Like that's possibly the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life." So I don't know. Ending up like that seems horrible.
Can I get eaten by 10 chicks in the shower?
Oh wait, hold on. I like that one.
Yeah, but you don't die from that.
Yeah.
Unless they're like cannibals.
There are worse ways to die anyway.
There are definitely worse ways to die than that. Holy shit.
There are a bunch of ways to die. If you type into your browser, God, what's the name of it? I think it's
Google.
Weird. No, I think it's like fuckeduptubes.com or something. Like you find like the people who die in like the funniest ways. Like this guy's drunk and shooting himself in the face, or like somebody's. Well, basically everybody's drunk and they all do stupid shit, but like they're all jumping off cliffs and doing the stupidest shit, and yeah, there are definitely worse ways to die than ants or lions, in my opinion. But to answer my own question, I'm pretty sure I would go with the lions myself. Want to be different, but those ants freak me out. Like I'm not a big ant fan, and I kind of traumatizes me. So if I want to get this over quick, go with lions, man.
Yeah, definitely lions.
That's the call.
I think it has to be that. So let's move on and sort of talk a little bit about Tyler and what he does for the stream. And like I like the dynamic that I think a lot of people, they subscribe to these top directors who we've had on our podcast, and they know all about Gold Glove or Onslaught or Woody's Gamertag, and what they don't know is the people who have sort of an intelligent view and speak a lot about COD have tremendous skill in COD. I mean, when we have Tnose on our team, we're pretty guaranteed to win. And I just like it's interesting to me that there's a lot of people like T was at PAX with us with another good buddy of ours, Mandela, and it's like these guys are big into the YouTube scene. They're just not content creators, so it's a different type of being big into it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think not making content allows us to spend a little more time paying attention to stuff, so we're not worried about making a commentary every day. We can go watch what we want to watch and do research and talk to whoever we want to do.
I think it's easier for somebody like Tino's to be more objective about like different situations, being as he's often the guy who's like the fly on the wall, and it's a whole lot easier for him to be like, okay, look, maybe this person did this and that was fine, but this one is like whatever. Just basically explain to, like, I know sometimes he jumps on Skype with me and we just randomly talk about different types of stuff, and being very opinionated like I am, I often will get either angry or pissed off or happy at whatever reason, and he'll be more objective about it and kind of bring me down on my feet, and I think that's a good thing for.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's also benefits of the anonymity of not having a channel, because I can say, hey, F you, this is BS, or not, because it's all behind the scenes. I'm talking to people on Skype, we're talking in an Xbox Live lobby instead of making any public drama.
But you're not completely out of the whole thing. I mean, you do post videos, right?
Once in a while. Verbal helped me with one that I thought was important, and I've tried uploading a couple times in the last week, but YouTube breaks all the damn time, so it makes it a pain.
Yeah.
Yup.
Actually, that one that you and I worked on, that was like one of my, I don't know, that was one of the film or the videos I was most proud of posting, because it was like, here's a guy who isn't part of our community, isn't trying to put out content that people watch on a weekly basis, and saw a situation that he had a commentary about and he had something to say about and wanted to voice his opinion about, and I was able to help you do that, and you did it in a really succinct, mature, like it was just like, you summed up the reason why the majority of people shouldn't have a YouTube channel. You should have a YouTube channel because of that commentary, and I heartily recommend to anyone to go and check that commentary out. Tnose 14 is the YouTube channel, and yeah, it was really, really good. What was the exact topic? I forget. Like, this was a few months ago now.
It was the whole miscategorization thing.
That's right.
And then I built off that and just said, hey, we're way too negative. Stop complaining and do something positive. Create content. Do something for the community instead of just bitching all the time.
Which is interesting, because like, talk about the one video that isn't going to get enough views is the one video that actually talks about being productive in some way, shape, or form, and everyone else was I don't know, being a little bit alarmist or saying something to get other views, and it's like, wow, it's telling to me that you were the one that didn't get enough views. But there you go.
It's just kind of the way the community works, though, because there are quite a few people that are just focused on putting out content that will get views and not worried about making things they want to make and saying what they want to say.
The secret to getting views is not good content. I think we all agree with that. I think it's all about having the right tags, having the right title,
Timing.
Timing is crucial. Just like right now, whoever put out the first zombie Easter egg video has got like 1 million views. The video might have been rushed, it might have been crap, bullshit, who knows? But that person's got like 1 million views, and that's the way it works. It's all about timing. I mean, somebody who let's say a guy like Tnose who puts out like one video every 2 weeks, and it's awesome content. He like got his whole commentary down. It's really intelligent, intellectual. It brings a whole lot of interesting points. Not going to get any views compared to that Easter egg video. It's all about running the train and doing it right, I guess. I mean, doing it at the right time. So
to get views, YouTube's a game, and you have to play the game to really be successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny. It goes back to the comment we get most often on the FNG podcast YouTube channel is it's a shame you guys don't use the right tags because you're not relevant for the search term FNG podcast. And I'm like, it's not that we're not relevant. We're the most relevant for that term. The problem is the amount of people that we've had as guests are far more relevant. So if Blade's getting 30, 40, 50,000, it's probably more, it's way more than I'm sure it is, views per video, then we're not relevant if his name is in the title tag. Like, you search FNG and it'll be him using the word FNG because that's got so many more views. So it's not, it doesn't correlate in that way, at least, which I find hilarious, but there you go.
It all boils down to actually enjoying it more. I know, like, I was a big advocate of making it onto the whole YouTube scene, gaining subscribers, gaining views. I was really, really hard on that, hard on myself, trying to grow my channel. And I just recently tried to, like, realize to myself that this whole thing is just fun. Like, just do your own thing. Just try not to worry about others. It's like in any community, there's always assholes and always like some nice people, and there are always people you don't enjoy. You can't be friends with everybody, and just do your own thing. Just have fun. Post your videos, and then just be happy with what you have. Because I know, like, with the size channel I have, there are thousands of people out there who would kill to get a channel my size, and I'm looking at that saying I would kill to get a channel somebody else's size. So.
It's funny. So I've had that conversation a couple times recently, and I've had to take a step back from YouTube mainly because of my job. And I got a new job, for those that don't know, and a promotion. It was great, but it's also like it's a lot more responsibility. So I literally just don't have time. But with that comes the conversation of, so what do you do in your free time? And I'm like, well, what I used to do was this YouTube thing, and when people talk about it, like, I bumped into, this is going to sound really weird, but an opera singer at a barbecue last weekend, and she literally, she does sing a little bit, but what she makes her money with is writing opera. So she's world famous opera writer. If you're into that type of thing, you'd probably recognize her name. And she freaked out when I told her that I had 6,000 subscribers and 1,000 Twitter followers. Like, she was like, "Oh my God, I would kill for that. How did you get that? Like, what's your secret to success?" And I'm like, I'm actually not good in, like, my circle of YouTube friends. Like, I'm not even mediocre. Like, there's a lot of people that do a lot better than me. And, like, that freaked her out. She was like, "That's ridiculous."
I know it's funny how like some people in our community right now are like passing like multinational companies on YouTube. They're like, "Oh my God, I passed Dodge," and you're like, "Yeah, it's because they're not focusing on it, dude. Don't worry about it. If they did, you wouldn't be passing them." But it's not like if you're going somewhere and saying, "Look, bitch, I got 1,000 Twitter followers and like I got a 4,000 channel on YouTube." It means nothing. I mean, even if you like, even within gamers, it means nothing. So basically, this is all for fun. I mean, yeah, some of us do get some type of money out of this, and that's great and that's fun, and it's like paying for your hobby, and that's awesome. But it all boils down to just having fun, playing Xbox, PlayStation, PC, whatever, and just basically, at least for me, it's a hobby, man. Like, I do this instead of going out on weekends, instead of going out partying, drinking. Like, this is what I do for fun. This is what I enjoy, and like I've met some really awesome people. Going to PAX in 2 months ish, and that's gonna be awesome too.
So there's a good point. Sorry to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
Tyler, what was it like for you? Because like for TryHard and Larry and I, we were part of it. Like, we had already arranged to do an in-live FNG, and we were going to do that in New York City. But then when it turned into Boston, you and our buddy Mandela joined us as well, and you were like in the room with a bunch of these YouTube crazy stars. Like, for me that was pretty cool. But I think we all agreed, like, it was. Like, I was more impressed with meeting you and Mandela and Larry and TryHard, because we literally play every night together. Well, not so much anymore, but give me shit, I know. But like, how did you feel about PAX?
I went specifically to meet you guys from FNG and the people I play with, and to be honest, walking into that room for the first time was just bizarre, because you'd see everyone introducing each other. "Hi, I'm Woody's gamertag. Hi, I'm Verbal," and everyone knew who each other was, and they would be like, "Hi, I'm Mandela," or "I'm Tnose," and you'd get that kind of cockeyed look like, what are you doing here? And then they'd shrug it off and go back to conversation. It was cool that everyone was just kind of, okay, we got our introductions out of the way, and then we're all on an even playing field again.
Yeah, because I think that group of people are used to realizing that there are fanboys out there that will treat them like, "Oh my God, you're Woody's gamer tag," and then after a second, it's like, but you're still just Matt. You know, Mercadurka is Taylor. Like, you know what I mean? They're just normal people that have the same hobby that we do, which is, you know, well, Taylor likes to play zombies because he's a freak, just like you guys. But you know, it's what we do. Like it's just a bunch of nerds getting together and having a little nerdgasm. Honestly, that's what we do.
Yep, and it was weird to just see how well we all meshed, even though most of us have never played or played rarely together, that we all got there, and the only real thing we have in common is YouTube and Call of Duty, but everyone got along really well, had a blast. We went out for food, we went to the convention, and we sat in our hotel room and talked until 8 in the morning, and everyone, I think, made a lot of friends on that trip in a short 2.5 days.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite nights, and it was me, Seb, Tnose, Mandela, and Woody's Gamertag, and we chatted till, like, keep me honest here, guys, but 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
like,
probably
all
something
night
like
long.
that.
And that was just like we were just talking shit about, you know, YouTube and Call of Duty, just like Tyler was saying, like just some fun, cool stuff that we all enjoy doing. I love that. Like that was awesome to me.
You know what was awesome for me is that here in Quebec, you know, I speak English now, but you know, French is like the main language here, and you know, nobody watches my stuff, right? They're all like, this is geared towards, you know, Americans, yeah, basically like and you know, nobody here really cares that I own a YouTube channel. But getting to PAX, everybody had one, so everybody could talk about it, and it was like one of those weekends where I could actually ask questions, ask you know, different, you know, what do you do with trolls, stuff like that, just basic YouTube questions that, you know, I could never get an answer to unless I was on Skype with somebody, and basically had a lot of fun just meeting people who did the exact same thing as mine. Basically, kind of proved that I wasn't a freak, because you know, when you try to explain to somebody who you just met that you have a YouTube channel and that you post Call of Duty videos online, that's kind of the thing.
I have a great story about this.
Doesn't go over well, man.
It doesn't at all, does it? Like ever. Like it's not like someone is like, oh wow, that's awesome. Like their initial reaction is never that. It's like, oh okay, so you're 100% complete dork then, huh? Great, awesome. Why am I talking to you? That's what I get. So I was talking to a couple of my brother's friends a while back, and my brother kind of does this. He likes it because he knows the reaction people get nowadays, and it's basically like, so you know, what do you do in your free time? My brother's like, oh, tell him about your YouTube channel. Tell him about your YouTube channel. I'm like, would you shut the fuck up? Like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, no, this is a good story. This is a good story. You'll like it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So. Do you know the video game Call of Duty? And they're like, yeah, it's like the shooting game, right? Like you go around and shoot. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. So you get the game. So I record, post videos, blah, 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 explain to them what I do. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's honestly, to the T, that's almost the exact reaction I get every single fucking time. It's like, okay, that's nice. So you're special then, huh? Did you go to one of those special schools? Do you need a little extra special time?
You know what I tell them though, Verbal? I tell them, yeah, but
I make money on it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Every single one is like, wait, what? How do you do that? How do I do that? How do I get a YouTube channel?
And then they're like, how much money? I'm like, that's none of your
Exactly.
fucking business. And then they're like, how does this work? I'm like, well, I got ads. And then they're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then you're like, yeah, really, just fucking there for the money. And like, it's...
Yeah, the conversation changes very quickly as soon as they're like, wait, that's a revenue point of view for you? Like, it's enough to buy ourselves a couple of beers every once in a while, guys. Don't go nuts. You're not earning $1 million. But it's, you know, the fact that you just get paid to do a hobby is ridiculous to me. Like that's, I would happily plow a few $100s every once in a while into a hobby I enjoyed without any thought of getting revenue from it. Like that's not even a question for me. Like it's just a bit of fun. But the fact that we get paid to do this bullshit is ridiculous. Like I love it.
Yep. I have a lot of fun doing this, and like being like just partnered with YouTube and all of that, and just I don't know, it makes it kind of, I don't want to say pro, but like
no, that's the technical definition of the word professional.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like you're getting paid for it. This is quote unquote a job. I mean,
so wait, that links into quite a good question though, Tyler.
Okay.
Why or what's driving you not being so motivated to sort of post videos? Because you're a ridiculously good gamer. Like you could kick the crap out of the majority of us.
I think there's two big things, really. One is just the stagnancy of the community in general, that posting good content and working hard really doesn't get you very far. Mm-hmm. And two, just that I don't want to just put out videos for the sake of putting out videos. I want to find a niche, find something that sets me apart, and put out something different that brings something to the community, rather than just bringing more stuff. I want to bring something new, and haven't really decided on that yet, I guess.
For your first point, T, you have something that a lot of people don't have when you're starting a YouTube channel. You know people with YouTube channels, and that goes a really long way. Like you could, because I always say that the hardest thing about a YouTube channel is getting your first 1,000 subs, and
Gotcha.
you could get past that, relatively easier than a lot of people, just because of the fact that a lot of us would be willing to help you out, give you like a spot or something, just basically give you a push.
Yep. And like I said, I've tried to post a couple of commentaries the last couple of days, and YouTube just hasn't worked. And I think I'm going to try and take the approach of combining like really objective gameplay like you do with the good scores, because I can do that once in a while. And then also, I think a lot of videos that get really good support are those short, like little clips, little funny stuff, like throwing in Claymore in the elevator on Hotel, stuff like that it takes 30 seconds to watch, and everybody will thumb it up and share it around. And I think that's a kind of untapped market that people don't do enough of.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
TryHard, good idea for our next videos.
Well, he's right, because I like my most successful videos, like the ones that really go big, are usually like just the stupidest videos, the funny things. Not like, sometimes it's good to do like a really, really in-depth commentary with a lot of thought into it. Like I did some personal commentaries where I talked about myself, and my subs really, really like that, but it's not the kind of video that goes out and gets people, right? There are two basic goals you have to do when you're making a video. You have to entertain your subs. That's number one. You have to keep your subs. You have to keep them entertained and happy. And number two, you have to pull other people in, right? So every video you post, new people who aren't sub to you are going to be watching that, and that video has to pull them in. So when your first video is you talking about, the first level of your life, and it's all soapy and it's all, dreadful, basically, that might be interesting to watch for one of your subs, but because they know you, because they can relate with you. But for somebody brand new, that may not be good. If you're posting something funny, they're like, this is funny, I might just want to sub. That's basically the way it goes,
Yep. Plus, it's really easy to keep someone's attention for 15, 20 seconds versus a 12-minute commentary.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's a thing as well. It's like you drive affinity. So like Onslaught with his Road to Commander and then Road to Nuke series, like people love him because they get to spend so much time with him. But you wouldn't get people subscribing to your channel for one of those videos, but you get someone loving you for one of those videos, which means you drive your subscriber base by the cool short shit that Tnose is talking about. But then you drive loyalty through shit like that, where you're constantly talking to someone. Like everyone loves Mike because of that shit. He's also a lovable character, of course, but
oh, for sure. And I think people aren't diverse enough with their channels, because there's so many directors out there that like can do great live comms, that can do the short clips, but everybody seems to be like, okay, I'm going to make my channel serious talks, or I'm going to make my channel great scores, and people don't do enough different stuff, which I know you'll get some hate for diversifying and mixing it up once in a while, but I think if you have a main focus as well as the diversity will pull in new subscribers, and the main topic or the main idea of your channel will keep them going and keep them coming back.
Yep. I definitely agree with that.
All right, next topic. I want to talk about some funny shit.
Go on.
Or do we want to talk about Tnose's role on FNG, or do you want to keep that for later?
His role on FNG, and like I don't know, I feel like he's representing our crew of guys that we play with on a constant basis. Like I would give up spots. Like if there's someone else I'm playing with, I'd give up a spot for anyone, or for our group of guys. And I feel like Tnose right now is representing that group of guys, whether it's Deepak or Gator or Mandela or the Massacre team. I know we play with them a lot. Halo Kitty, Dr. Chiz. Like those are guys that may not have YouTube channels, but are people that we speak with and like we spend so much more time with than just on YouTube or just on FNG.
Mm-hmm. It's those people behind the scenes that, like, I have the benefit of being the guy that streams the FNG chat, so I get I think, more recognition than I deserve, to be honest, especially because there's all these guys out there that play with us all the time, that are here helping troubleshoot the channel, that are in the chat every night, and don't get a voice and don't get thanked enough, I think.
Yeah, true. I'd agree with that. Mandela, long hauler. There's a bunch of guys that we sit there and chat with all day on Skype with. Gator, Deepak. We actually keep a completely separate Skype chat open just for our group of friends, and it's like there's no. While we all have met and have had like a lot of the big stars in YouTube on this channel, I think those are the guys that we spend more time talking to, and it's Larry, Deepak. It's those group of guys that we really sort of spend more of our time with that I enjoy. As much as, if not more than, the directors that we've gotten to know, and they're really cool guys. But
Yep.
All right, we just got the word that Larry
everybody
couldn't
put
make it
out-
because he just
Yep.
called in.
Go ahead.
I was just glad
Larry's
that
got
Larry
to work apparently,
just Skyped
saving
us
the
that he
world and all
couldn't make
that.
it for tonight. He just
wow,
Yeah,
you
he's gotta
guys are
go
going
kill
so
people and
digital.
shit,
It's
so.
crazy right now.
it's
Yep,
weird. I'm like
it's
talking over T and he's talking over me. I
Slowing
don't
down
know
and
why.
speeding up.
Yep. It's like you guys are.
Skype is stupid.
Skype sucks, guys. So what they're basically trying to say, and they're being polite and helping each other, and then not saying anything. But Larry got called into to work. He's actually literally typing in the Skype chat right now. He's like, "Fuck, I hate this. I look forward to this bullshit every week, and it's the one thing that like drives me through the week." And dude, we love you. Don't worry about it. We wish you could be here too. No big deal. So guys, we're going to be without Larry this week, which sucks, but we'll have him back next week, and life will be good. Anyway, are you guys done with your digitizing bullshit?
I don't know. Maybe like is this better right now?
Yeah, it's good now.
All right, T, can you hear me well? Yeah, you good?
Yep, think we're good. We just
All
had
right.
that weird Skype glitch where it slows down and speeds up, and I think it's good now.
Dude, I don't know. Like this happens to everybody. Every single podcast has this. Like if you listen to a bunch of podcasts, like somewhere within a 1 hour podcast, somebody goes robot and somebody doesn't hear somebody else, and then the voice cuts out, and it's happening to everybody. I don't know what's wrong with it, but if
It's
I'm
just Skype. Did I ever tell you guys that I actually used Skype as a call center for a company I once ran?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
We can get into that story at another point in time, maybe in real life. But basically, when Skype was just launching, they were trying to get people to use them. And one of the ways we were using them is just to run a call center off. And god awful. It's just horrible. Like, don't ever run a business where you have to rely on Skype. Like, the bullshit we put up with, and we're just entertaining people. It's not like we charge anyone for this shit. Oh, you would never want to run Skype off a real channel. Or off a real company, I mean.
thing is, I mean, like this is all for fun and games, but I actually have Skype credits, and I sometimes use it as a phone, right? And like when this happens to me when I'm talking to somebody and I'm actually paying for their service, then that gets me kind of angry. Like this is free stuff, so I don't really mind or care. But like when I'm paying for it and like the service is bad, I don't know, not a big fan.
Yep, and between Skype and Cam Twist and Justin.tv and YouTube, something always doesn't work right.
Yup.
Wait, hold on. I feel like that's a perfect segue into.
Yeah.
You were thinking the same thing, weren't you?
yeah. The bill.
So both Tyler and I caught this on the same day, and this is a pretty big change, or it could be. It could represent a huge change into the way that our community does things. And I'm kind of nervous as to what the fuck it means. But basically, there's a law out there, and it's like S.198 something.
Yeah, it's S.978, I think.
So basically, the score is that they're trying to make it illegal to stream public performances or copyrighted material, trademarked material, and have that streamed live and then profit from that streaming. And the basic point of the live, someone else sort of gave me the idea. They're like, look, this affects the gaming community, but it's more for movies being streamed and other type of copyrighted stuff. And it's just they're lumping everything in together. That could be online. So gaming just happens to be part of it. But the basic idea is that it would be illegal to stream anything, and that means posting to YouTube. It would mean streaming. Like if we had, we could talk right now because we're not using someone else's intellectual property right. But if we wanted to put I don't know, any type of gaming content over it, we wouldn't be allowed to, and we could face. It would actually not be a civil problem anymore. It would be a criminal problem, meaning we could face up to 5 years in jail for doing so.
And it also means that the government can just say, hey, I see that you're breaking the law, we're going to punish you for it, rather than having the company have to file a lawsuit against you.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know how hard, like, okay, even nowadays, like, people are streaming, you know, events that, like, they shouldn't be, like, world premiere of movies, stuff like that. Like, I can get on Justin TV right now and stream a movie off of Netflix, get a bunch of viewers in it, and, you know, I'm not really allowed to do that. But, I mean, it's, like, kind of that, you know, goes back to, like, the whole Napster thing with, like, free music and, like, sharing within each other, like the whole peer-to-peer idea. You know how hard that is to police, even if they did pass the bill? I mean, I don't think they could actually go ahead and start policing, like, sites like Justin TV or Livestream or Ustream.com. Like, every other day, somebody's going to make a peer-to-peer site that's going to be, you know, just basically streaming or whatever the reason. And I'm pretty sure this is, like, unlawable, if that makes any sense.
I'd have to disagree with you on that one, because if you've ever tried to watch, like, whether a sporting event or UFC or something like that on Justin TV, those streams get closed down within minutes. Every time they get to a certain size, someone shuts it down, and oftentimes they'll pop right back up sooner or later, but once it becomes a federal crime, that could be a much bigger deal. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for gaming, because for the most part, the companies support people that make YouTube videos and stream because it gets the product out there further and it brings more interest to whatever game it is. And
I think... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I think they have it for people who make money out of this, right? So some people make money off of Justin TV, right? Like, just the same way they make money off of YouTube. They have Justin TV partnerships. And I can understand that idea. But even then, this is publicity for you guys. Like, why do you want to shut this down? It's not like if we're taking away some kind of market from you guys. Like, if I stream Black Ops for a whole night, it's not like if somebody's going to be like, oh, I'm not going to go buy Black Ops now. I've seen it from Mr. TryHard. That's not the way it is. If anything, I'm enticing people to go buy the game.
Yeah, but you're thinking about it the wrong way. And what it comes down to is the law is actually in this one time actually ahead of the publishers. So the publishers right now aren't realizing that there's a lot of money to be made from the advertising dollars that are put towards the showmanship of that content, and that's what Machinima is making a bucket load on right now. So they're basically putting advertising dollars to the content, the IP content that someone else is putting together, and then what the law is realizing is, and it's not the gaming situation that's bringing about the law. It's like you guys are talking about, it's the Netflix and then the streaming of other videos that's bringing about the law. But it's going to affect the Machinimas of the world, where, like T was saying the other day in the chat, this is just going to solidify Machinima as basically the only guys that can do this right now, and that scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie, like, that's crazy.
Yep, having a monopoly like that, we saw what happens, that they just posted massive amounts of very mediocre content, to be honest, not to bash Machinima, but they had that run for a while where they were posting 30, 35 videos a day of just general crap.
Yep.
And if they end up being the only company or organization with the direct line to the developers that can get the okay really easily to put out content, they can do that as much as they want, and there's not going to be any competition, and there's going to be no way to grow any sort of competition because no one will have a line.
I feel like you're summarizing Microsoft.
Yeah, that's pretty close, actually.
But,
what scares me is, like, why aren't the publishers doing this? Like, I mean, not that I'm privy to the relationship between Machinima and Activision, but, like, what this law is basically saying is that if you're going to use someone's intellectual property, then that you need to be paying for it. So, I wonder if that's sort of telling of the way that the way Machinima and Activision will start working with each other from now on. That they'll start owing money.
Very well. By that one statement that you just made, if I stream the single player of Black Ops, isn't that not streaming it, but like posting a video on YouTube about it. If I just post like the first mission in the single player of Black Ops, is that going against the whole law?
Yeah, because think of,
I mean,
the laws
I'm
against intellectual property. So they created that content, right? Like that's their to do with as they will. And if you're
right.
posting that for the purposes of earning money, that's what the law is to stop. Like you're violating their intellectual property rights is what it comes to. Think of it like in a more simple term, it's like when I take a photo of the most beautiful sunset on the planet and then someone else uses that on their website and earns money from the fact that I took a beautiful photo, well they owe me some type of royalty, right? It's the exact same content, it's just video game content instead, which is fluid and always going to be different.
Okay, how about I flip this and instead of having because we get paid by Google Ads, right? People with partnerships get paid by Google for running ads on our whole videos.
Yep.
Why don't companies like Activision, like Ubisoft, get into this whole idea of having their own ads on our own videos, right?
Well, exactly, and that's why I'm saying, like, this is the first time I've ever heard of that the law is actually ahead of the publishing companies because they're making money hand over fist just selling the game to us. They're not realizing that by doing that and being the best at doing that, they're also driving this counterculture of people that care about watching good content on YouTube, and that this is kind of a new way of consuming media, and media has advertising dollars behind it. So there's a way to, supplement your income there. And it's not like they're going to earn a lot of money by, getting rid of machinima, the middleman there, and, contracting you themselves. But there might be a little, and they should be waking up to that fact. It's basically what it comes down to.
You know what? Like, if I was Activision, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, why don't I try to run, try to make it, like, run machinima myself, like have like a machinima Black Ops side and run that, or like a machinima Call of Duty and run ads on that.
Fantastic question. Why don't they?
If
there's an Activision person out there that wants to have a chat with us or be on the podcast to talk about this, I think that's a fucking brilliant question, to be honest with you.
Imagine how skewed the videos would be, though. Like, everybody would be like, oh my god, I love Activision, I love Call of Duty, but like it would make
there's the problem as well. Like, how quickly do you kill the community because of your censorship of it? Like, they would have to realize that any censored situation, you're killing creativity. So you kind of gotta, that's got to be taken into account.
But on the other end, it's awesome publicity for them. Like, imagine if a guy like the big juggernauts of this whole thing, Seniors, Hutch, only use me Blade, Woody, those guys, if they started backing Call of Duty like they were paid to do so.
What an interesting concept. What an interesting concept. Someone should start a company doing that.
Though if you look at the situation too, there's already all sorts of hate going up that Vaughn and JD 2020 and the people from Activision and that are behind Black Ops know about, and they joke about it, they see it, they really don't care. So I don't think you'd have to worry about too much censorship because most of the complaints are, oh my god, Ghost is gay, I hate campers, blah blah blah, and they couldn't care less about it.
Yeah. They're trying to make so here drives an interesting question for you guys. A good few of my buddies and I have started getting back into Modern Warfare 2. I play far more Modern Warfare 2 right now than I play Black Ops, and I'm wondering how you guys feel about something that we came up with this past week, and it's that Call of Duty Black Ops is far more even keel a game. Like, it's very, very normal. Like, it's,
wait. Modern Warfare 2 is more even. Is that what you said?
No, Black Ops.
Okay. My bad.
Like, there's no real huge highs, like when you get a nuke. But then again, there's no real huge lows where you're not getting noob tubed. But when Modern Warfare 2 sucks, it's fucking horrible. But when Modern Warfare 2 is fun and interesting, it's so much better than Black Ops, for me at least.
I would agree to an extent. I just think that the highs and the lows in Black Ops are much harder to achieve because, like, dropping 100 kills in a domination game makes me feel awesome. It feels like a nuke, but it doesn't happen very often. Same thing with, like, we've experienced getting spawn trapped on demo and dying 150 times is not very much fun.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, though, I feel like your goals are a little bit higher than most people's. I don't think I've ever come close to 100.
But either way, you could bracket it, I guess, that for other people, say getting 60 kills makes them feel like a badass. It's just much harder to achieve those highs and those lows in Black Ops because, like you said, it's a much more even experience.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Modern Warfare 2 was a game for everybody. Everybody could get on. Like, even the most mediocre of players could get on, play for a few hours, and one time get a decent game. Calling Harriers, Chopper Gunner, Pavlos, whatever. Whereas Black Ops is more of a game where the good people, good players like Tnose and myself, and everybody on YouTube basically.
To a lesser extent, Verbal.
No. Well, Verbal, do you even play Black Ops at all, or?
Not much anymore, bud. Not much anymore.
Yeah, I know. Busy. But
no. But even when I do play, I agree. I'm not on Black Ops. Like, it's not a priority.
Yeah, you're probably playing Modern Warfare 2, but yep. I mean, it's one of those games where like if I get like a 35-5, I'm much more happy with that than if I go play Modern Warfare 2 and I get like a 50-2, because a 50-2 in Modern Warfare 2 means you got your 5 kills running around, you got your Predator. And that's the time where you run to a corner, hide somewhere, call in your Predator, whatever, get your Harriers, wait for your Harriers to do work, then call in your whatever, Pavlo or Chopper Gunner or AC-130, and then have that do work. And that's just basically auto kill, right? I mean, whereas, at least for us, I mean, we don't really run Chopper Gunners, and even if you do, I don't feel like if they're as lethal as they used to be. And I just think it's more of an achievement getting high scores in Black Ops. It's more of a reward. Rewards objective playing a little bit more too. So, I don't know, just more of my game.
It is fun when you get the dogs. I'm not gonna lie. Like the moments when you get the dogs, that's pretty cool. I'm still like, how many nukes did you two get in Modern Warfare 2?
Countless.
Yeah, it was bad. I stopped running it after a while because, like, you've played with Super Mike. I think Super Mike and I got like 9 nukes in 10 games or something like that, and it was just a waste by the end of it.
Wow, that's pretty ridiculous. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
I've had 2 nukes my entire Modern Warfare time. I've pulled in 2 nukes.
Ken Burton, get out of his body.
Seriously, right?
It's like you can see it from Onslaught's Road to the Nuke, though, that the nuke depends entirely on your kill streaks and on whether or not the other team's shooting it down, because I don't care how good you are. If you are playing against a good team that's going to have stuff to shoot down your air support immediately, you're basically getting a kill streakless nuke. And props to you if you pull that off against a good team, but it's not going to happen.
I think the most important part into getting a nuke is, because you're probably running, the Chopper Gunner or the AC-130, is to kill the first 6 people out of your Chopper Gunner. If you do, then by the time they spawn and bring out their Strelas or RPGs or whatever, you're already aiming at them, and then it's like the endless cycle of spawn, kill, spawn, kill, spawn, kill. So the whole killing of the first 6 people, or Ground War 9, whatever, that's the most important part in getting a nuke, and after that it's just right. Sandy Ravage time,
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
And to be honest, with the whole experience with either game, I think for me at this point, I'm so Call of Duty'd out that it's more of a social experience, that I get on to go hang out with people and chat and talk shit online when people are being assholes and stuff like that. It's not about the gameplay anymore, really.
It's kind of like our way of just relaxing after a busy day at work or school or whatever. We all get on our Xbox, and it's weird because the age, like, if you were to meet us all, like, let's say, like, we're like a party of 6, and we are like we would all meet in one place in real life, you can never tell that we actually are friends or whatever, because I
can't even imagine that happening. Like,
because just Verbal's in his early 30s, T's in university. I'm 27 years old. One of our guys is like 15. I mean, we would go to jail for shit we say. So, I mean, it's true, though.
Well,
I mean,
one of our guys is even older than me. Fetchplex is like fucking 37, 38?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird that, like...
I feel so bad I just called him out, by the way. I'm so sorry, Fetch.
I don't think he's in the stream right now, but he'll talk to you about it. But
he'll hear me later.
But I mean, it's really true. I mean, I wouldn't look twice at a guy who's 15 years old to be like a potential friend of mine. But then again, I got on YouTube, got on Call of Duty, and that guy's a decent dude. He's mature. He's nice. He's a cool dude. So I'm friends with him now. I'm like twice his age almost, and that's just fucked up. But I mean, I have fun as legal as I can.
I guess kind of going back to PAX, I think that's one of the reasons why we all got along so well, is that the experience you get, like, it sounds kind of weird, but playing Xbox with people, the way you get to know people, there's no need to be fake, to put on airs, to try and impress people. You could just be you, and if someone doesn't like it, well, fuck them, play with somebody else.
Yeah, totally. I like that is one of the biggest things about Xbox. It's awesome, and I never got into the whole, like, I remember before I started doing YouTube, I remember talking to a buddy of mine who played a lot of Halo back in the day, Halo 2 specifically, and Halo 3. And he had a bunch of people that he knew on Xbox. And when, like, I went over to his house one day and he's, pulling out his Xbox and he signs on and he's got, like, I don't know, 30 or 40 friends. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that many people on Xbox? Like, that's ridiculous. I have, like, 7 guys I know. It's like my brother, my 2 friends from England, my buddy, you. Like, what's going on? He's like, well, I've kind of played for a long time. And, this is way before I started doing this. And I really had, like, an aversion to doing it. Like, it was weird to me. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I was like, oh, so you meet people online and then you get on with them and then you add them and then you keep playing with them? Like, how does that even work? And now, like, my mindset has changed so much. I would have missed out so much not knowing you two.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry and Gator and everyone else.
Yep, and I think it's one of those things that will perpetuate. Like, even though we don't play much anymore, we still talk on Skype all the time and do stuff like the podcast, and it just perpetuates itself. And I'm sure once Modern Warfare 3 or Gears of War 3 or whatever the next game is, it'll be back to the normal routine.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of the big blockbusters, what do you guys think of there kind of being a lack of summer games, to be honest?
Well, okay. Everybody talks about these new games, and people go out and buy them, and so do I. I mean, I go out and buy games like... I don't even buy games. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not a big fan of anything but Call of Duty. That makes me sound like such a huge fanboy and so biased, but it's true. I mean,
wait, do you have a PS3?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, get into Uncharted. Like
yeah.
Uncharted is so good.
Being a new PS3 guy, I don't think you have any excuse because there's so many great exclusives. But as somebody that only has an Xbox, like, I was looking forward to Duke Nukem, which was a massive flop, and Shadows of the Damned. Oh, I played it for about an hour at a friend's house and was like, let's do something else, because even though I didn't pay for this game, I'm still not enjoying it, so let's stop.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. I did pay for it.
You bought it?
Yep, I have no words.
You failed.
We talked about this, and we all knew I was going to buy it. It's not like that was never a question, but and I realize how bad it is, and eventually I will honestly pick it back up. Maybe I might. I want to. I want to like have the effort to pick it back up again, but
yeah,
it fucking sucks. Like,
the only good thing that Duke Nukem did for me was it proved to me that some of the reviews out there are so bad. I mean, Hutch, I love you, bruh, but if you're posting that Duke Nukem is fun and awesome, I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, he posted a video, like, the day it came out, he's like, Duke Nukem's so awesome, and, like, posted, like, a minute of him raping on it. And the very next day, Blade put out a video of himself just basically ripping on the whole game. And, yeah, not a good game, man. Like... If your game is anticipated for over 10 years and you bring out a game with graphics that are 10 years old, then that's a negative point for me. I mean, I'm not a big fan of graphics. I don't really care, but when it's pixelated like that, I mean, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for me.
No, I couldn't agree more. 100%.
And I've got to say, Gears 3, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a while ago, but when it was first slated with the release date, I believe it was this summer and then got pushed back to November. And I think it would have made a killing if they had a game that big come out, say, in June, because there's nothing else coming out and everyone's bored of Call of Duty.
Yep.
And
I agree.
Now this fall with Deus Ex, with Gears 3, Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3,
ridiculous.
Skyrim, you're not going to have enough time to play half of those games, and they're all probably going to be must-owns.
Well, that depends on what you mean by must own. I mean, a single player game for me, I'll usually buy, but that I think I'm a minority. I don't think you should buy those games because the hours you put in it are nothing compared to a multiplayer game like Call of Duty, like Battlefield, like
But that's not a reason
Gears.
not to buy something. Just because you'll
Well,
spend more hours on one game or another.
I'm kind of with TryHard on that, just from an economic standpoint, because I don't have the money to blow on every game that I
yeah,
want
exactly.
to play.
Like Verbal, we're
But-
not all New York millionaires here.
Oh, bite me. No, McDuck. You don't even get to start that argument. Damn.
I'll play the role of the poor college kid and just say, with some single-player games like Skyrim, it'll be possible to sink 100, 150 hours, which doesn't really compare to Call of Duty, but I'm okay paying $60 for 150 hours of gameplay that I enjoy.
Exactly. Like there are some single player games that have a campaign that lasts anywhere between 10 and 20 hours. And after that, like the replayability of it is basically nothing. I mean, unless you're an achievement whore or you really want your points or your PSN trophies or whatever. What's the point of going to play a game like, I don't know, like any RPG basically? I mean, once you're done, you're done. Black Ops.
See, but so you're talking about my childhood now, like fucking Zelda. I will buy the next Zelda game for the Wii. Like, it's not even a question. And you won't see me for like 3 weeks because of it.
Zelda's one of those games that has a lot of gameplay in it too, but I mean...
But even then, it's like you're done. Like, I played the first Zelda game for the Wii, and I finished it, and I was done. Like, I haven't even touched it since. Why would I? Like, I agree. You're right, but that's still something I would...
That's because you're a huge Zelda fanboy, right? Because
true.
I mean, games like sports games, right? You're never done with the sports game. There's always a new season you can play. There's always a new franchise you can own. There's always a bunch of different stuff you can do in a sports game. RPG, like anything online, basically is a game that never ends. I think anybody who puts out a game right now, game developers out there, listen up. If you're putting up a single player campaign that has basically no multiplayer in it, I think you're missing out, and I think you're being cheap towards your following. I think people are going to stray away from these games that have only 20 hours of content in it. It's just not that relevant anymore. I mean, the money that you invest is just not worth it.
Now that I would agree with. Like, I do feel like our industries, or our passion is definitely changing, because I mean, basically what it comes down to is it comes down to how much time you have to enjoy this shit, and you're right there. Like, that's huge.
Not to play the role of fanboy or pimp out a game too much, but I don't know if either of you played the original Deus Ex, but it was basically a hybrid first-person shooter RPG. So you can go with like the stealth route or the like all-out badass power route or whatever. But the real draw was that the story was really well crafted, and unlike say Oblivion or Mass Effect, the decisions you made actually had a really big bearing on the story in general. And like, I don't have a link right now, but you'd see like a flowchart on Reddit of the general story, and there's 150, 200 bubbles, all interlinking that stuff changes no matter what you do. Like, say you take the power route, suddenly something goes wrong, the building blows up, and one of the main characters dies, and the whole rest of the game changes.
Okay, so that's interesting. So maybe it's not so much about having to have a multiplayer as much it is as having to have replay value or longevity of gameplay.
Exactly.
So like
Let me ask this,
Go on.
T, for that one game, how many hours do you think was into one of those? Like, if you played it through one time, how many hours did you put in it?
I would say I played through the game probably 5 or 6 different times, and depending on like if you do all the side missions and stuff, I put at least probably 40 hours and 5 replays into that game. 40 hours per play. So
I think because if you say because if you're playing it once, that's basically what? That's like a 7 or 8 hour game?
No, like probably 30 or 40 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that sounds decent to me. If I get at least 20 hours into a game, that's basically $3 an hour. That works for me. That's fine. But like so many, like just like the COD campaign, it's like a 7-hour campaign, right? I mean, 7 or 8 hours tops. Like even if you put it on easy and you're terrible,
that took like 4 hours.
Yeah, these games it's happened to me before where I would go rent a game and finish it before I brought it back the very next day because I spent like a lot of hours on it. But still, I'm not supposed to be able to finish a game in one sitting. It's not supposed to be that way, at least anymore. Like look at all these other games. Look at games like Rock Band now, they were brilliant, by the way. They brought out downloadable content that was worldwide. I mean, you could download every song you wanted to and play it. I mean, that game you could own and still play 10 years from now, and still like experience something new. Whereas like a single player campaign, it's just subpar if you ask me. I think they should just invent a way of making it either MMORPG or at least do something like Final Fantasy. Like what they do is they make their single player campaign last hundreds of hours, or have side quests that last longer than the actual quest itself. I mean, you could finish a Final Fantasy game in about 30 hours, but if you wanted to finish it with 100%, then it'd probably take you over 100. So
yeah.
Games like that are worth buying, but games like, if you're only playing like the single player of Homefront, not for me.
I think Verbal hit the nail on the head with the replayability that you need now that people have experienced multiplayer games. So whether that's multiplayer or a long single player or a branching storyline that you want to replay through, or even DLC, which I think we'll talk about in a minute, whatever it is, you need more value than just once through a 20-hour game.
How about game like Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto? These games are brilliant because they're open air games. You can basically do whatever you want. I mean, how many times do you get into a game like that just to fuck around, not really accomplish anything, just do whatever, right? I mean, who gets on Grand Theft Auto just steal cars and beat bitches up and just do the stupidest shit, not really accomplishing anything. And I think that's a really great factor into gameplay longevity.
Yep,
Not to mention, Red Dead Redemption had some of the best DLC to hit the 360 so far with the Undead Nightmare campaign, which was freaking amazing, and I'm so glad I bought it.
Yep, I definitely agree with that.
On the subject of DLC, what do you guys think about the new maps? I'm sure TryHard, you've played quite a bit with me on them. Verbal, I don't know if you've hit up the new maps or the new zombies or not, but I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah, I haven't done the new maps, the new zombies, because I'm not a zombie fan, but the new maps, what was that TryHard? We weren't playing with T that night, but the one, Silo.
You mean the big one?
Is that the one
no, we didn't play Silo.
Is the ginormous one.
Yeah, no, Verbal. We played Hangar 18, the one with the Blackbird on it.
That's right. You joined us later on that evening. So we were playing Silo earlier on the evening. That may be, I don't want to sort of put my foot forward here, but that may just be the very worst map I have ever seen. Like,
really?
It might be, for me, that might be worse than Rust.
Dude, have you played CeeLo on World at War?
No, I haven't. But having said that, I feel like the Hazard one, which is, I know it's the remake of the World at War one, that is, and I know that you don't care about this, but I like to walk around a beautiful map. That was fucking, that is a work of art. I love that map.
See, that's really interesting because I think Hangar 18 is by far my favorite of the new maps.
Yep, me too.
Just because of the size. Because
Hangar 18 is the one with the Blackbird in the middle, right?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah,
it's kind of a mid-sized map.
Yep.
See,
and
they made.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, D.
Silo is just ridiculously big, and I think they made a mistake in. It seems like trying to compete with Battlefield with the huge, epic size of the maps with giant buildings and long lines of sight, and it doesn't work for Call of Duty. We don't have vehicles, and you just end up sniping, much like you do on Hazard, because, oh, hey, let's make a golf course that you can see from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made a video about this, posted it up today, and
I got 3 minutes through that video and had to move out. So I'm like, don't spoil the end of that video. I'm still dying to watch the rest of it. I'll do that on Tuesday morning, I promise.
But don't worry about it. But basically, what I mean, what I meant by that whole video was that the reason for Call of Duty's success, the way, we're not gonna deny the fact that Call of Duty is overselling all of its, games like Homefront, Battlefield, those games. It's outselling them for one reason: playability. The fact that it's easy to play, easy to pick up, it's fun, entertaining, quick paced. From a personal standpoint, I really honestly think that the reason why it's that good is because of the fact that it's small maps, quick, easy, and fast, right? So maps that are big means that big maps aren't that much of a problem. The problem are big maps with big lines of sight. I posted a gameplay of Hazard today. Hazard, you can basically spawn and see the enemy spawn from where you are, right? It's that open. The B flag is right in the middle of the map. It's overlooked by everywhere. Basically, if you aren't running smoke or if you're playing up against a stupid team, then you're not gonna be able to cap it. It's basically one of those maps that encourages you running a sniper. And basically, why would you do that? Okay, so you spawn in, behind you is an overlook with a head glitch on it. This just encourages people running a sniper, attack inserting back into their own spawn and just sitting there and waiting for somebody to jump on B. It just makes it so that people don't want to jump on B flag, and that's just, it's stupid to me. Why would you want to do that? And whereas other maps like, Hangar 18, I think they got really, really on par with the way it plays. It's close quarters, but it's still a big map, well, medium-sized map, and it still makes for a good dogfight on B, and that's fine. Another map, the one that looks like Trailer Park. Help me out here, guys.
Drive-In?
What's it called?
Drive-In.
Yeah, Drive-In, exactly.
Horrible.
See, Drive-In's a small map. You say it's horrible. I think it plays wrong because it has a bunch of
big open areas and long sites.
Yeah, exactly. Like, every single corner of the map has a site overlooking the B flag, but still, I like the size of it. I like what they think, like, the way they tried to make it. They tried to make it really, like, kind of like a... God, what's that? Trailer Park. Yeah, they tried to make it like Trailer Park back in Modern Warfare 2, and that was an awesome map. Look at all the maps that people vote. It's not that hard, Treyarch and Activision. I mean, look at all the maps that people vote for when they're playing in lobbies. When a map like Nuketown or like Firing Range or like Summit comes on to the whole voting rotation, people vote that all the time. You don't see people voting Array. So why would you want to make an array-sized map again? It's
Yep. And another big part of it is balance too, because of the long lines of sites don't work for Call of Duty. And if you look at a Summit or a Firing Range, they have a couple of positions of power dotting the map. Firing Range, you've got garage, you've got trailer, you've got the crow's nest, and you've got wood. And each one of those is key to how the map plays. And just having one person post up in one of those spots could change spawns and will totally change the dynamic of the map. Silo and the new maps don't have those whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah, if you make maps that are... Let's say we just gave the whole COD community a map size the size of probably a Summit or a Firing Range. They could basically design anything and couldn't get it wrong. It's that good. Just a small size map, man. Snipers is fun. It's nice to run around and snipe, but look at a game like Battlefield that's plagued with like 17 versus 17 snipers. It's that stupid now, just because people just the maps are so huge. To get from one end to the other takes like 5 minutes, or you have to use like a Humvee or like a chopper or whatever, and just slow gameplay, man. So why not just sit in your own spawn in a bush and pick people off? It's fun, and I mean, I've tried it before. It was kind of fun, but like, it makes for slow gameplay. It makes for non-objective gameplay, and I think you're going at it wrong if that's what you're doing with your game.
Yep, though at least the map pack did have one redeeming quality, which is the zombies. I have a blast with the new map. That they changed so much from the original formula. They have the boss zombies that spawn regularly, and the monkeys that randomize your power-ups, and the map is gorgeous, and the Easter eggs interesting, and Treyarch does such a good job with all the new zombie maps, and then fell flat on their face with the multiplayer maps.
Yep, I think that for the whole zombie maps, like they made a huge open map with Call of the Dead. And I think they realized that for the good zombie players, that was too easy. They could just run train all over the whole map. So they decided to make a totally different map and make it really, really small. And that's even more interesting, right? So I'm not a huge zombie fan, kind of like you, Verbal, but I always get on and just play for a few hours, just try it out every single time, and just find out the new power weapons, what they do, whatever. And I have a lot of fun, and I kind of praise Treyarch for what they're doing with the whole zombies thing. They're sticking by it, even though Infinity Ward didn't include it into the last game. I'm not sure if it's a whole copyright issue, if they weren't allowed to or whatever. But the whole zombie thing, thumbs up, man. Like, that thing is fun. It's a break from multiplayer for us diehards, and I know a lot of my friends who are like COD noobs who love just love playing zombies. So, kudos to you guys.
What do you think of bundling the multiplayer maps with the zombies? Because for me, I was really skeptical about buying this map pack because I wasn't a fan of what the multiplayer looked like, but I bought it anyway for the zombies. And I think, for me anyway, I'm much more inclined to buy it because they're together. But if they keep failing this miserably on the multiplayer map packs, I'm just not going to buy it anymore because the zombies isn't worth the $10 to me, and it's maps that I get stuck playing that I really don't enjoy.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who download them and try them and play them for a day or two and then delete them off of their whole Xbox just to be able to not be in the rotation. So.
Oh, yeah. Really? Who does that? Do you know?
Gator deleted his old map pack.
The problem is, Verbal, that they show up in the competitive playlist, and they are definitely not built for competitive.
Gotcha.
No, definitely. I mean, I don't understand it. How difficult is it for you to understand that your successful maps are your small ones, like firing range and stuff? I mean, okay, people vote all the time. The MLG runs it. I mean, they only run small maps. They don't run array. Why would you make, like, they're not going to run Silo.
But it's okay. So it's a wider group of people that they're trying to appeal to, other than just MLG players. And on top of that, I mean, to me, there's a couple things going on. So first of all, it's like it's just simply the fact that they're trying to appeal to that mass audience. So it's not just about a small map that certain people like, but let's try and keep snipers a little bit happy here and do long lines of sight in a longer map, which people like us are sort of maybe bitching about because A, we don't care, B, it makes for bad gameplay, blah blah blah. But then the other factor, and this is where I don't like it when I don't think any of us have a right to complain about TryHard right now, where they're actually trying. Like, they have done so much to try and make this an experience that we on YouTube talk about and care about, and I commend them for that. I think that's huge. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, TryHard or Activision, or God, I can't even say the right word here. Infinity Ward did nothing.
Yep, and the whole competitive playlist just speaks to, again, how much work Treyarch is putting in, and some of it is misguided, like Fuzzy Otterballs just brought up in the chat, that they're suggesting stuff for MLG, like Domination on Array should be in the competitive playlist, but no, thank you. No, we'll stick to figuring out our own game types and tell you what to put in, because they really obviously don't have a clue about certain stuff, but they listen to the community, so it works.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that they're doing a step in the right direction. They definitely listen to the community. They definitely listen to us, our complaints. They actually listen to Hastro with his complaints on the whole MLG, how to make it work, and in LAN servers, whatever. And this is totally opposite of what they actually did. Well, not they did, but what Infinity Ward did back in the whole Modern Warfare 2 era, where they basically said, yeah, we're working on it, and actually never actually worked on it. And I think it's a step in the right direction. I think next Call of Duty is the big one, because I don't think we can... Oh, wait. I think we can expect, or actually demand...
Are you still there?
Hello?
Hello?
I muted myself by accident.
Nice.
All right,
job, bud.
But yeah, no.
We
So
are
basically,
Skype pros in here.
I
by
think
the way.
no, it's because I got a new mic and I pressed a button. Whatever. So I think that Treyarch actually stepped it up, right? So Activision, not Activision, but like Infinity Ward. Next time they bring out their own game, their Modern Warfare 3 game, whatever, they're gonna need to support it like Treyarch did Call of Duty Black Ops, and we're not gonna expect anything less than that. And if they don't, then I think it's gonna be a real hindrance in the selling of the next Modern Warfare or the next Call of Duty title, and it's gonna be huge, I think.
Yep.
See, I disagree with that, because I don't think we're the target audience. Like, I don't see us as being the people that they are advertising to. And like, I know Larry would sit here and give me shit right now, but you go after the people that make you the money, and are the fanboys on YouTube really the ones driving the actual revenue, or is it the parents of the 11-year-olds?
No, but how fun is it for, the average consumer of a Modern Warfare game, like a Modern Warfare 2 game, who goes out, buys it on Christmas, doesn't buy release date, whatever, just gets on, and then sees that everybody's javelin glitching, right? I mean, how fun is that? There was none of that back in Black Ops, right? Like they patched shit before it even happened.
Yep.
And whereas in Modern Warfare 2, the javelin glitch ran around for weeks, if not months. What else ran around? There are plenty other glitches. The Rock on Fuel was patched like 6 months after the release of Black Ops. It's that bad. So,
I think I kind of agree with both of you because with the new one coming out, I'm kind of with TryHard. They set the precedent of, like, in the past it's been Infinity Ward kind of innovates the series and then Treyarch builds off of it and makes it what it kind of should have been.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have to see Infinity Ward take some of that from Treyarch and pay attention to their game. But by the same token, we're really not the people that they need to worry about selling the game to. Though, with it coming out in the fall with all those other games, should Modern Warfare 3 be a big flop in the YouTube and competitive community's eyes, that's still, while it's not the target audience, it's still a big chunk of those returning players. And there are plenty of other competing games, and you could have just a giant community jump ship and go to Battlefield.
See, I think
go to Gears
T's
of War.
really onto something here, where if someone else, like the way a COD killer comes about, is making gameplay content fashionable or cool, and it would be at the grassroots level where Thunderstruck is just fucking done with it, and he's like, I can't stand those ghost campers anymore, and 2 or 3 other directors are like, fuck it, I'm gonna go over and start posting Battlefield 3, let's say, for argument's sake, because it's coming out here in the next few months. They start making that gameplay look sexy and interesting and fun and something we want to be playing with. If you turn the tide there, that could affect what's cool in the eyes of the next generation, and it always starts with those people that are God, I hate using advertising terms, but it's opinion makers and thought leadership. It's sure, I'll go after that. And then if I talk about it, like, we are the guys that talk about, Call of Duty the most, and we'll go out and talk to our friends about, oh, no, you don't even play that anymore. Dude, you want to pick up Battlefield 3. That drives sales. It really, really does. So I think Tyler's on something there, to be honest. I think that is a way a Call of Duty killer could come about, at least. Just a thought.
I don't think anything's gonna. I think Call of Duty is like heads and heels over everything else right now. I think for it to be brought down by anything, it's gonna have to suck for years. Like, it's gonna have to be subpar for at least 2 or 3 years before anybody brings out something that people are gonna gravitate towards. I mean, just look at Battlefield. People jump on that. People buy it. It has a lot of pre-orders. Apparently more than Black Ops, than the new Modern Warfare 3. People buy it, and then people don't play it anymore.
It hasn't got longevity. But to be fair, that's all they want. They want you to buy it. Like, it's...
Yeah, I disagree with you on the couple years because I think it's going to take one iteration of the series. Should Modern Warfare 3... Like, it'll sell well, sure, but if the community abandons it partway through and jumps on Battlefield 3, the next time the games come out, the new Battlefield game is going to sell more copies, and people are going to be on that first, and if it makes another good product, they're going to stay on it and not even bother with the new Call of Duty.
Because, see, the worst that they can do with Modern Warfare 3 is basically releasing a Modern Warfare 2 rehashed, right? The worst they can do is just grab it, add some textures on it, change the map, change the guns, and then bring that out, right? That's basically what, like, the worst that they can do. I think that is better than Battlefield 3.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. It's been a great podcast. Should we end this on this right now?
Yeah. T, appreciate everything you do, big man. I think, there's always, like, that, I want to say unsung hero without sounding too cheesy, and I can't think of another fucking word. But there's a lot of guys, like you were saying, that we run with, and we have fun playing with all of you guys. So, I appreciate the friendships I've brought up, and I guess this is my way of saying thank you to, Tyler and everyone else, Mandela and Gator and Long Hauler and fucking everyone else that we spend time playing with. Platinum, Mr. Plow, the Massacre team, Halo Kitty. Anyone else here, guys? Fetchplex.
Can we say big thanks to Fuzzy for stepping in and streaming for Tnose tonight?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
In fact, that's
Thank you, man.
That fills in perfectly for guess who our next guest will be, guys.
Fuzzy Autoballs.
Dude.
Yeah, so Fuzzy's awesome because he totally could have said no, but he actually stepped in and said, yeah, I'll handle the stream for you guys tonight. And then I was like, hey, you want to step in for next Friday, be our guest? Like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And yeah, he's gonna be our guest next week and have some fun times with him. Probably talk about the whole March Madness, because I'm pretty sure he's in the finals. And what else?
It's him and Sideshow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, March Madness finals in July.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the Community June Madness. Is that what it's
Whatever
called?
it is, it's still around and Fuzzy's still in it. So
good for him.
Yeah, good luck, Fuzzy. So all right, let's end it on that.
Yeah, Tyler, thanks a lot for coming on, guys, and that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Later, dudes.